Assalamualaikum and a very good evening to Sir Imanuddin and my classmates. So today, we from Group 9 will present about leaders and change. Today's business world is highly competitive and very demanding. Thus, change must be a natural activity for a growing organization. So every organizations are reshaping themselves to meet the needs of a client. And then for every leader, they need to emphasize action to make the change as quick and possible. So for today's presentation, I will explain to you about the content. So we'll start with the introduction, and the next one will be who is change leaders, followed by how the best leaders embrace change, followed by change management versus change leadership, and 7 things leaders do to bring changes. So I'll begin with the first slide. Who is change leaders? Now, a change leader is a leader who believes that members are the organization's greatest asset. He will always guide these members to make sure that the performance is better. And then the second one is to protect the organization's culture while creating change. Any changes that he makes, he will always make sure that the organization's culture is protected. And then the third one is implement change incrementally, but present the complete plan for change upfront to the total organizations. In any change implemented that he did, he will always improve it, but then he will always come up with a complete plan for the change up total organization. And then the next one is to use change strategies appropriate to the organization stage in its life cycle. And the last one is to keep their visions always realistic and adaptable to their organization. So the next one is how the best leaders embrace change. The first one is to define their change by thinking expansively about the future and what change you will need to undertake. Since I said before that today's world is highly demanding and very competitive, thus we always have to come up with changes to respond to this rapidly changing world. So we always have to define the change by thinking expansively about the future and what are the changes that we need to take to perform. And the second one is to sell our change to employees and other stakeholders. And the last one is time to execute. So my friend will continue from here. Change management versus change leadership.
Good day everyone. Today I would like to present about change management versus change leadership. As you all seen from the video showcases the difference between change management and change leadership. So to conclude the video, I would like to emphasize on the points that the video has shown. So first is change leadership articulate a vision of the future. It means that a leader chooses the vision, he emphasizes on the vision that he created, and he sells to the employees so that the employees follows the change. And the change is actually in a very big scale, as the whole thing is changed in order to review the vision. However, the change management only changes the smallest part of the management. So here we can see that change leadership has a great benefit on the change. Second would be the mobilize of resources needed. In change management, they emphasize on budget. They allow a certain budget, they change things on that certain budget only. However, the change leadership, they create their own budget in order to mobilize the vision that they have set. Third would be to put an engine on the whole change process. So the leaders have to sell their change to the employees so that the employees will follow their vision in order to be successful in their change.
Change management versus change leadership. What's the difference? The distinction between the two is actually quite significant. The world is increasingly using change management, which is a set of processes, tools, and mechanisms that are designed to make sure that when you do try to make some changes, stakeholders buy into the change, the process stays under control, and the project keeps on budget. Change leadership is fundamentally different. It's about articulating a vision of the future, mobilizing resources needed to make it possible, and putting an engine on the whole change process to make it go faster and smarter. Change management tends to be more associated with smaller changes, while change leadership is associated with larger scale changes. Almost everybody uses the term change management because that is in fact what they do today. Change management is done by change management groups inside corporations, assisted sometimes by specialized change management consultants. Change leadership is done by leaders who have a clear vision of a better future for the entire organization. They inspire stakeholders to believe in the change and empower them to fight for it. Change management is planned and deliberate. Change leadership is urgent and empowers speculative action driven by good but yet unproven ideas. The world uses change management today, but does very little change leadership. Competitive pressure, which require faster, bolder responses, is making change management by itself inadequate. Change leadership is the necessary solution to today's problems and opportunities created by a faster-moving world.
So let's move on to the next slide. Next, we all know that employees, they tend to stay at their original place. They don't want to come out from their comfort zone. So, these are the 7 things leaders do to bring changes. For the employees to accept the changes, leaders should cultivate and inspire them in order to change. So, first one would be inspiring others. So, without leaders inspiring their employees, they don't really want to change because it makes them uncomfortable. So, leaders should inspire them and give them the idea of benefit of changes. So, second would be noticing problems. So, as a leader, you must notice problems. Without noticing problems, there won't be a change. So, the change comes because of the problems. Next would be providing a clear goal. Employees, they don't change something without any reasons. They need clear problem reasoning and points. So, if the leader want the employees to change, they must provide a clear goal. And next would be challenging standard approaches. By doing a change, we are going against the standard approaches because change is not a textbook stuff. We are doing something which is not in the prescription or it's not theoretical. We are trying to do something new. So leaders should have the courage to go against the standard approaches. Next will be building trust in your judgment. Building trust in your judgment will come after the effort of doing changes. If the changes is successful, shows you the benefit, you will build the trust. Next will be having courage. It's almost useless because you must have the courage to risk your job and your position to be successful in your change. So lastly would be making change a top priority.
Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the 5 top qualities that needed for a leader to bring change to its organization. So the first quality he needs to be persuasive. So he needs to take the information given and put it into a format that makes the change look acceptable to the employees, so that he is able to convince the employee that the upcoming change is good for their futures for the organization. And this can make change easier for all the employees to accept. And this is the second quality, the drive. For change to benefit to the organization, all of the possible outcomes must be explored. And the leader needs to run the idea through the best scenario and the worst scenario. And one of the questions that a leader will be experienced during a change is whether all the results that were taken into consideration. And by exploring every possible angle, the leader can give the results of the test studies. The third one is confidence. So the leader needs to be very confident. So that because the employees may question the abilities of the manager, and they may be questioned about how the change will affect the future of the company or organization. So a good leader can solve many of those problems by remaining confident through the change. When the leader stands by change idea and offer nothing but positive words about it, the confidence helps to rally employees around the change as well. The fourth is communication skill. So change can cause many employees to become concerned. So the leader need to communicate with them before, during, and after the change process, because it is critical to make sure that the changes causes as little disruption to the employees as possible. And this last qualities, a good leader needs to stick to the guidelines of change and see it through as planned. Some change may require letting employees go or making changes to job functions that some employees do not like. And the leader must remain unwavering in his execution of those changes if he believes that these changes are good to the organization. Yeah, so see a quote by Charles Darwin: "It's not the strongest leaders that survive nor the most intelligent. Instead, it's the one that are most responsive to change." Yeah, so we have come to an end to our presentation. So in this presentation, we've covered about who is a change leader, how the leader cope with changes, and what are 7 things they need to do. And we also compare between the change management and change leadership. And lastly, we'll talk about the 5 qualities for leaders to bring change to the organization. Thank you.